Okay, anyway. Right, so what did you say the answer?
1.832.
1.832. So 1.83. So this is in radians per second square. This is in radians per second square. Okay, so now we got alpha. We got alpha. So this ends our situation 1. This ends our situation 1. Okay. So now second situation, we have to take time as 2 seconds. We have to take time as 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds, we have to find the velocity and acceleration. What is the formula for velocity? What is the formula for velocity?
Displacement by time.
No, we cannot take displacement by time because here acceleration is there. When there is acceleration, we cannot take displacement by time. We have to take one of the linear equations. Fine. And here, because we are converting from rotary to this, we have to use this relation. Sorry, omega into r, no, radial distance. On the rim. Yeah, so diameter is given here. Diameter is given here, right? So from the diameter, we can find the radial distance. So omega into r we have to use. So which omega? The final omega. Final omega. So omega 2 we have to use here. Omega 2. Actually, omega 2 is not same as this omega 2. So let me put omega 2 dash. Omega 2 dash. Fine. So this is for 2 seconds. Okay. So how to find omega 2? Omega 2 dash we have to use as omega 1 dash plus alpha will be same and t dash we have to use here. Fine. So omega 1 dash is also 0. Omega 1 dash is also 0 because it is starting from rest. Because it is starting from rest. Then alpha value we have to take from previous, that is 1.83 times the time. So 2. So what does it give us? 3.66. Huh? Correct? Is it correct? Confirm.
Yes, sir, correct only.
Then find the velocity. Velocity omega 2 dash. Omega 2 dash 3.66. That's the value. And radial distance, how much we have to take? Radial distance, how
300.
much we have? So 300 mm. But velocity we need in meters per second. So 0.3 in meters. 0.3 we have to take in meters. Okay. So what is the answer here?
1.098, sir.
1.098. So we can just round it up to 1.1. 1.10. Okay, 1.10 meters per second. So this is the velocity. This is the velocity. And what about acceleration? What about acceleration? So look at the question carefully. When he's telling velocity, he is not telling angular velocity. That's why we found the linear velocity. That is why we found the linear velocity. If he is asking angular velocity, then this is our answer. This is angular velocity. Angular velocity or rotary velocity, whatever you want to call it. So if he's mentioning angular velocity, we could have left it here itself. But because he is just asking velocity and he's also mentioning at a point on the rim. Fine, this is another hint for us. When he's giving the point on the rim, that means he's not talking about angular velocity. So that is why we have found the linear velocity at that point on the rim. Now, when he's again talking about acceleration, he will be talking about the total acceleration at that point. He will be asking the total acceleration at that point. So now the total acceleration, which is a vector, will be the sum of two accelerations. What are the two accelerations? Centripetal acceleration, that is vector, plus tangential acceleration, Both these are vectors. Fine. So both these accelerations we have to find. Both these accelerations we have to find. Okay. And we have to take the sum of these two accelerations. That is when we get the total acceleration. Okay. So let's proceed. So what is the formula for centripetal acceleration? What is the formula for centripetal acceleration? Tell me. Centripetal acceleration. Are you getting my sound?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What is the formula?
P square into R.
M square into R.
P square into R.
Yeah. V square divided by R. V square divided by R. Or wait. Sorry, this V square by R, right? V square divided by R. This is one method. The second method is omega square into R. Omega square into R. So which omega we have to take? We have to take the omega 2 dash we have to take. We have to take omega 2 dash. Okay. So what is omega 2 dash? 3.66. 3.66. So 3.66 square into radius. What is the radius? 0.3. Yeah. So find it. Find this acceleration. 3.66 square.
4.019, sir.
4.019. So after point, we just want two decimals. So 4.02, let's take 4.02. Unit meters per second square. Unit is meters per second square. Next, let us find the tangential acceleration. What is the formula for tangential acceleration? What is the formula for tangential acceleration?
R into alpha.
Alpha into R or R into alpha. Okay. Alpha is constant. Alpha is constant. Alpha is constant because in the question he is mentioning here uniformly. Uniformly means alpha is constant. Uniformly means alpha is constant. So same value of alpha we can use 1.83 into radial distance, that is 0.3. What do we get?
0.54, sir.
1.83 into 0.3, 0.55.
55.
Correct? 0.55. This is again in meters per second square. Meters per second square. Okay. Now, in vector, we have written them as addition. In vector, we have written them as addition. But we cannot do that simply here. We cannot take it that simply here. Because this is vector, we have to find magnitude. We have to find magnitude and direction. We have to find magnitude and direction. So what is the magnitude of A? What is the magnitude of A? Now these two accelerations, they'll be perpendicular to each other, right? They'll be perpendicular to each other. They'll be perpendicular to each other. Fine. So the tangential component will be like this, and centripetal component will be like this. They'll be perpendicular to each other, right? So when they are perpendicular to each other, the result, how to find the result? How to find the result?
Under root of AC square plus AT square.
Yes. So that we have to use. Find it. So under root, under root 4.02 square plus 0.55 square. Do it. What do we get? 4.02 square
4.055.
4.06.
4.06. 4.06. 4.06 meters per second square. Meters per second square. Then what about direction? Direction, we have to find this angle. Let's call it as, let me call it as phi. Let me call it as phi. Fine. So phi, how to find phi? It will be tan inverse what? Tangential component by centripetal component. Find it.
Centripetal by tangential.
We'll be taking, depends on what angle we are taking. If you are taking the angle from radius, radius,
6758.3, sir.
yeah, let me explain this. Now angle, it depends from where you are taking. I am choosing the angle from tangential. Fine. Okay. If I'm choosing angle from tangential, then of course it should be centripetal by tangential. Right. So do this.
Tan
Centripetal.
inverse of whole square, it not come, sir.
No, why whole square? Whole square will not come here. So centripetal is 4.02 divided by
82.20.
so inverse tan 82.21 degrees. 82.21 degrees. Fine. So this is the total acceleration. And this is the angle from tangent. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is how we have to find. So understand the twist in the question. Fine. So in the question, he has just told velocity and acceleration. And the greatest hint for you here is this. Okay. He's asking at a point on the rim. Fine. So he's just trying to, misdirect you here. He's just telling velocity and acceleration. Most of the students, what they will do, they will just find the angular velocity. They'll just find the angular velocity and the overall acceleration. But if you do this, you're just partly solving the question. You're only partly solving the question. Fine. If you want to solve it completely, then you should go ahead and you should find up to linear acceleration and linear velocities. Is it clear? Any doubts here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so I'll just keep this your file. Yeah. Okay.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, in CAMS, we are solving the problems. In that, velocity also denoted by omega.
CAMS are
Yes, sir.
kinematics of machines.
Yes, sir.
I've not started that topic yet, no. But
No,
yes,
sir, I am just asking.
omega, yes, omega is angular velocity there.
Okay.
There also omega is angular velocity. Fine. Okay, so next one, which one shall we do? Ball is thrown, motion of particle, rectilinear motion.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, can you explain coefficient of restitution, sir?
Coefficient of restitution. Okay.
And elastic impact, sir.
Elastic impact. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So if anyone else is also having doubts like this, please feel free to ask. Okay. Okay. So your first doubt is coefficient of restitution, right?
Restitution.
So let us say you have a ball. And you're just leaving it. Fine. You're just leaving it. You're not pushing it. So when you're not pushing it, the initial velocity will be 0. Isn't it? When you're not pushing it, the initial velocity will be 0. And when when the ball reaches here, when the ball reaches here, what will happen? It will be having velocity. It will be having a velocity, isn't it? So there will be some final velocity here. Okay, okay. There will be some final velocity, and that final velocity will be given as acceleration into time. Acceleration into time. So this is for downward motion. So let us call this motion as 1. So this is downward motion. Downward motion. Okay. So downward motion. Downward motion. Now, as soon as it is bounces, as soon as it reaches the ground, it will touch here. Its velocity will change the direction. Its velocity will change the direction, isn't it? So this velocity is downwards. Then for upward motion, so let us say upward motion u2. This is the upward velocity for upward motion. Velocity for upward motion u2. So this v1 and u2, will it be same? u1 and v2, v1 and u2, will it be same?
No, sir.
No. If they are same, then we can say if they are same, if v1 is equal to u2, then we can say it is perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic. If they are same, then we can say that the collision is perfectly elastic. But in real situation, that doesn't happen. In real situation, that doesn't happen. There will be some loss of energy. There will be some loss in energy, because of which which one is greater? u2 will always be less than v1. u2 will always be less than v1. Fine. And coefficient of restitution gives us a relation between that. Coefficient of restitution gives us a relation between that. Fine. So u2 is equal to the coefficient of restitution. Let me write it as r. Let me write it as r. So coefficient of restitution into v1. So here r is called coefficient of restitution. Okay, r is called coefficient of restitution. So if you know the coefficient of restitution, you will be able to find what will be the upward velocity. What will be the upward velocity after collision? You will be able to find what will be the upward velocity after collision. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It will gives us difference between initial velocity minus the final, sir.
Not difference. I think it is the ratio.
Ratio. Okay.
Okay. It is not the difference. It is the ratio. Fine. Because coefficients usually they don't have any unit. They don't have any unit. Okay. So it is not the difference. Keep it in mind. It is a ratio. A ratio.
Sir,
So,
can you state the statements, sir, of this?
So statement, if you want to write statement of coefficient of restitution, you have to write it is the ratio of velocities, which velocity is at the top? After collision. After collision. So instead of velocities, you just write velocity. Ratio of velocity after collision to that before collision. Okay. So ratio of velocity after collision to the velocity before collision. That ratio is called coefficient of restitution. Okay. So
yes, sir.
So that is the definition. Is it clear? Any more doubts?
No, no, sir.
Any others, students? Any doubts if you are having?
Elastic impact.
Elastic impact. Just now I told na perfectly elastic. So that is elastic impact.
Okay.
Fine. So here, what is the value of R? What is the restitution coefficient of restitution? If R, the coefficient of restitution, if it is equal to 1, if the coefficient of restitution is equal to 1, then we can say that the impact is perfectly elastic or elastic impact. Okay. So for elastic impact, the velocity V1 will be equal to velocity U2. Velocity V1 will be equal to velocity U2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any more doubts? So that's the thing. Shall we go ahead? Kinetics.
Only 5 minutes left, sir.
Yeah. For 12 o'clock. You have any more doubts? I'll be recording more videos, and all those links you can of course find in this particular file. I'm once again sharing the link to that file in your group. Okay, one link has been shared here. Joseph, sir, are you joining that class?
Yes, sir. In 5 minutes, sir. It will start in
Okay.
more 5 minutes.
5 minutes more, fine. So please take a break if you need. And those who don't want to break, if you have a doubt, you can ask me. So we still have to cover last 2 units, right? We still have 2 more units to cover. Kinematics we did today. Kinetics we'll have to take up in slightly more detail. Then we have impulse momentum and what is the other one? Impulse momentum and work energy method.
Work energy method, sir.
Yes. So those 2 methods we'll have to do. Kinetics also we have not done, right? Only one part of kinetics we have done. No, not that was not kinetics, right? No, we have just only done kinematics problems today. Kinetics we have to start. So in kinetics we'll have to take up energy relations also. We'll do that, okay, whenever we meet next. Okay, you can leave and join whatever class is scheduled next.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can you send